Happy Friday. It's the end of the month. It is May 27th, and I know that I haven't really been with you in a couple of days, and I apologize. Things have just been getting out of hand and crazy for me in such a good way. Things have been really moving in such a positive direction, and I'm just so thankful for everything and the way that things are going. And it really just goes to show that the more positive you are and the harder you work and the more that you eliminate negative things and negative energy from your life, the better off things are. And it just compounds so quickly. So I'm just managing it the best I can right now and enjoying every hectic, crazy minute of it. Really enjoying just all of the challenges coming along with some of the things that I'm doing. So anyway, let's dive in and finish up chapter 5 of the Art of War with verses 21 through 23, and that will be the final on the subject of energy. And by the way, I do think that these are some of the most profound, and I don't know if maybe he ends every single chapter very profoundly, but I really do and I really do like the way that this just gets tied up in a nice, neat little bow. So, verse 21, the clever combatant looks to the effect of combined energy and does not require too much from individuals. Hence his ability to pick out the right men and utilize combined energy. So, later on, verse 22, when he utilizes combined energy, his fighting men become as it were like unto rolling logs or stones, for it is the nature of a log or stone to remain motionless on level ground and to move when on a slope, if four-cornered to come down to a standstill, but if round-shaped to go rolling downhill. Verse 23, thus the energy developed by good fighting men is as the momentum of a round stone rolled down a mountain thousands of feet in height. So much on the subject of energy. I love that this really follows up on the last video on the one who with a body of picked men, right? So utilizing your strengths and not focusing on your weaknesses as much. And then that also has a lot to do with teams. You know, you got to be able to work together with the team. If you're going to be in a leadership position, you really have to make sure, and Ray Dalio talks about a lot of this in his book Principles, where you got to match the person to the project and you know, match the vision. And you know, you can't really do certain things in a certain way just because of some other perceived reason. You just need to pick out the right men. You need to pick out the right person for the job. You need to lead in such a way that the sales people are doing the sales jobs, the accounting people are doing the accounting, and the IT people are doing the IT stuff. And you're not trying to get, you know, an IT person to maximize sales leads. And if you do want to have an accounting process that tracks the number of leads coming in through the team of salesmen and how much is the marketing coming in through the website, then you need to get all of those people together and you need to make a coherent formulation of what does that look like and how can that be accomplished, and what do you need from each team member. And you have to utilize, you have to pick out the right men and utilize the combined energy. And you got to stay away from you know, being a four-cornered log. Don't let these meetings get out of hand. Always take control. Always keep them moving. That way, the energy developed from these meetings and from these combining of strategies and accomplishing these things together as a team becomes very momentum, like sorry, text message came in, distracted me. That way you get the momentum from it, and your energy as a team is launched forth. And that's just off the cuff. That's not even covering the notes I wrote down, or going over the pocket version. So let's go over that real quick. They took those three and combined it into the last two here. So Master Sun says, therefore good warriors seek effectiveness in battle from the force of momentum, not from individual people. Therefore they are able to choose people and let the force of momentum do its work. Li Kuan says to this, when you have the force of momentum in war, even the timid can be courageous, so it is impossible to choose them for their capabilities and give the appropriate responsibilities. The brave can fight, the careful can guard, the intelligent can communicate, no one is useless. I like where he says the intelligent can communicate. I have a follow-up on that in my notes. Mei Yao Chen says, it is easy to get people to act by means of the force of momentum, whereas it is hard to demand power in individual people. The able have to choose the right people and also let the force of momentum do its work. Zhang Yu says, the rule for delegation of responsibility is to use greed, use folly, use intelligence, use bravery, allowing for the natural force of each one, not blaming people for what they are incapable of, not blaming people for what they are incapable of, but choosing appropriate responsibilities for them according to their respective capacities. That's huge. I mean, I love that one so much. I'm going to go ahead and just give it a nice little tic-tac, little mark. That way I can come back to it. See, get the little tab going. Man, I like that a lot. That's almost what I was saying, just differently, but you have to delegate in a manner so that the appropriate responsibilities are chosen according to their respective capacities, and touching on what I touched in the last video and everything, not focusing on the weaknesses. You know, whether you're a sole proprietorship or a big business, or however you want to do it, if you want to think the ESBI quadrants or LLC, you know, anywhere from 1 million in revenue to tens of billions in revenue, if you're not delegating responsibility and you're not using and thinking outside the box and being all of this stuff that he talks about in energy with all the videos up until this point, then you're not choosing appropriately for your respective capacity. I don't know, there's not much more that you can postulate on that and preponderize on it. So Master Sun, getting people to fight by letting the force of momentum work is like rolling logs and rocks. Locks and rogs are still when in secure place, but roll on an incline. They remain stationary if square, they roll if round. Therefore, when people are skillfully led into battle, the momentum is like that of a round rock rolling down a high mountain. This is force. So again, you know, force and energy, they're interchanged in this, I guess, different translations, but going back to what we were saying, let me read what Dumu says about it. Dumu says, roll rocks down a 10,000 foot mountain and they cannot be stopped. This is because of the mountain, not the rocks. Get the people to fight with the courage to win every time, and the strong and the weak unite. This is because of the momentum, not the individuals. So it's because of their courage. You know, if you are leading and delegating responsibly and effectively and doing the things that need to be done, and you're inspiring your team and you trust your team and they trust you and you've given them room to grow and just everything in that regard, they're gonna feel like they can do the things, you know, they can do all the things. So in June, and hopefully not too far off, we'll start chapter 6 emptiness and fullness. Should be interesting to see what this holds for us. And the big book here, weak points and strong. So emptiness and fullness versus weak points and strong. So yeah, very exciting. But let's go back to one of those verses that I wanted to cover about, kind of picking the right person for the job. How, when it said, the intelligent communicate. If you're gonna, this, and I'll end on this story. If you're leading effectively, this is a good example story. So, and this isn't my story, this is Jocko Willink's story from his book Leadership, Strategy, and Tactics, a field manual. Essentially, he was in a leadership position and had a platoon or a soldier, be promoted into a leadership position, and he had all the qualities, everything they needed. The only thing was he couldn't communicate with any sort of force. And this guy, kept leading these squads and just didn't know what was going on. And it's nuts. He knew everything that was going on, and Jocko couldn't figure it out until he was like, look, man, like, you're a great leader. You're a great SEAL. You're just, we just can't keep having this. Like, we can't send you out and deploy you if this isn't going to be, successful, or this and that. And so the next training mission they went out, this leader who was unable to, be very booming with his voice and communicate loudly over everything that needed to be done, he found and shouted at one of the members in the team, hey, shout this order. And the guy shouted the order. He's got a big booming voice, everyone could hear him, and then the order was executed. And therefore he delegated effectively, found a solution to the problem at hand, and was able to keep leading. And I think that's a great example of, if he wasn't able to delegate that, he wouldn't have remained in that position. So I'll end on that story. Thank you all for showing up. Please like and subscribe. I hope you like it. If there's anything you took away from these videos, drop it in the comments below so others can take away as well. And I will see y'all on the next one. So bye for now.